Hello everyone, welcome to a new video of our new series Learn With Me Susan. And we were discussing parts of speech, the different kinds of parts of speech that we use daily in English. And today we have come with the second one, which is the pronoun. Now when we talk about pronouns, it is closely studied with the nouns, and please refer to my previous video for more information on it. And to start off with, what is a pronoun? A pronoun is a word that is used as a substitute for a noun. So this is what you must always keep in mind, okay? So whenever you have a noun, instead of repeating the same noun more number of times in each sentence, you can use a pronoun to explain more about it. So just like a noun, a pronoun can also refer to people, things, concepts, and also places. So I've given a few examples here so that you can have an idea. And when we talk about pronouns, most of us think that pronouns always refer to personal pronouns like I, she, he, it. But there are also other pronouns that we use daily in English grammar. So the first sentence here, I asked her if the phone was hers. So if I'm asked to underline what are the pronouns, I, her, and hers. So this is how we use pronouns differently to explain a concept about in each sentence. Then the next sentence, it might snow today. So instead of using any other nouns, we simply use it to talk about the chances of snowing today. The next one, help yourself to whatever you like. So again, we have yourself, which is used as a pronoun in this sentence. Now, when we study pronouns, there's another concept which you have to keep in mind, which is something called as the antecedent. The antecedent of a pronoun, it simply refers to a noun that we refer to when we use a pronoun. For example, the sentence here, Annie was late to class because she missed the bus. So here I'm using the noun Annie, and to talk about her more, we use the pronoun she. So here Annie becomes the antecedent because it refers to the pronoun that we have used here. So always remember, antecedents, they either occur in front of a pronoun or after it. So for here, in this example here, as they debated the point, the students became increasingly active. So here the pronoun occurs in front of the noun. So antecedents are simply the nouns that refer to the pronouns that is used in a sentence. Now, when we study antecedents of a pronoun, always remember that there would be some instances where you'll be confused in using the right pronouns. For example, here, after the interview and written test, it was checked for incomplete answers. So here, initially, it is used as a pronoun, which gives off an unclear understanding because I have talked about two things, interview and written test. So when I use it gives me kind of a confused understanding about the entire sentence. So instead of using it, I can simply use the words the test. So that is enough. Even if you repeat the some of the words, it is always important for you to give off a clear understanding of the idea that is presented. So instead of using it whenever you are confused, try repeating the same group of words again in order to give a complete understanding. So after the interview and written test, the test was checked for incomplete answers. There is no need for you to use the word it. Now we're going to look at the different types of pronouns that we use in English language. So the first one that we are most familiar with are the personal pronouns. Now personal pronouns can refer to either yourself or the person that you're addressing to. And in other cases, it can also refer to other people and things. So examples are he, she, it, they, we, etc. So we have a long list of personal pronouns, and also they change their form based on the different case studies that we have. Now, when we study personal pronouns, always remember the fact that they can change their form based on a number of factors. Now, let's look at each of these factors in detail. The first one, person. So whether it's singular or plural, pronouns change accordingly. Now here, when it's first person and first person singular, the sentence comes like this: I went to the store. So I use the personal pronoun I for first person singular. Going on to the next, we are going on a trip. So we is a pronoun that is first person plural. Now going on to the second one, you should come home. Now, the feature of using you as a pronoun, it remains the same when we use it as a second person, whether it's singular or plural. So when you're talking about you, it can refer to a single person or a number of people. Going on to the next one, third person, the sentence comes like this: he is reading, they are playing. So here, he is a pronoun that is used for third person singular, and they is third person plural. So this is how pronouns change their forms based on the person, whether it is singular or plural. So there is a huge list of these first person, second person, third person examples of pronouns that can be used according to whether they are singular or plural. Now, the second factor that determines a change of form in pronouns is number. So whether the sentence is singular or plural, the pronouns change accordingly. So here, she is a teacher. So imagine we're talking about a person called Rita, and I say Rita is a teacher. So I'm talking about just one person, and for her, I would like to use the pronoun she, because we're talking about one person. She is a teacher. So similarly, I have the sentence, it was a sunny day. So I'm talking about one day that was very sunny. So I use the word it. Now coming to the plural aspect of number, they are playing. So I'm talking about a group of people who are playing, and I use the word they as my pronoun because we're talking about more than one person. We went home. So we're talking again about a group of people who have gone home after a movie or a concert. So according to singular or plural, the form of pronouns change accordingly. Now the next factor that can be taken into consideration, that I think that's the easiest one, is gender. Okay, so whether it's feminine, masculine, neuter or gender neutral, the pronouns can change accordingly. So here for masculine it's he, feminine it's she, neuter is it, and gender neutral is they. Now you might be wondering what is neuter and gender neutral. So neuter is actually when we refer to something that has no particular gender. For example, it is raining today. So when I want to describe a process that is happening in the natural environment, I would like to say it as it is raining today. So there is no particular gender that I'm referring to. Whereas here, gender neutral, if you do not want to give a gender specificity to a particular thing, then we can use the pronoun they. So that is the difference between neuter and gender neutral. Now the last factor that determines a change of form in pronouns is the case. So whether we are using a pronoun as a subject object or as a possessive form of word, it changes accordingly. So here are a few examples that cater to each of these. She is going to the market. So here she is used as a pronoun, which is also the subject in this particular sentence. The teacher called him. So him serves as the object of this particular sentence, and the pronoun that we use here is him. Now the last sentence, this is my book. So the word my refers to a possessive pronoun that is used in this sentence. So this is how we use personal pronouns based on different kinds of aspects like case, gender, first person, second person, third person. Now the second type of pronoun is the demonstrative pronoun. So there are four main demonstrative pronouns that we use in English grammar: this, that, these, and those. Now they refer specifically to things or people and can indicate whether the noun that we are talking about is near or far. So for example, this is my book. So I'm talking about a book which is mine but which is close to me. Now when I convert that same sentence into that, I give the sentence as that is my book. So I'm referring to a book of mine which is kept a little farther from me. So this and that indicates nearness or how far a particular noun is. So the same aspect is connected to these two pronouns, these and those. So for example, these are tasty mangoes. So I'm talking about a group of mangoes that is kept near to me. And when I convert that sentence, those are tasty mangoes. So when I'm talking about some mangoes that are tasty, but it is kept a little far from me. So as you can see, this and that, they refer to singular nouns, whereas these and those, they refer to plural nouns. So according to all these factors, demonstrative pronouns can be changed accordingly. Now similarly, these pronouns can also be referred to different ideas and concepts. For example, this was an interesting meeting, or you can say this was an interesting idea that was discussed in the meeting. So we are talking about something that has happened just now. Now if I use the word that was an interesting lecture. So I'm talking about a lecture or a meeting or something that has happened in the past. So this and that can also be used in such aspects when you're talking about something that has happened recently or in the past. Now the third type of pronoun that we use, these are called as the interrogative pronouns. So as the term suggests, it is used to introduce questions. So in combination with other interrogative terms, these pronouns are used to give out questions about things, people, or even ownership. Now these are the main interrogative pronouns that we use according to different contexts. What and which is used to indicate about things. For example, what is your favorite food? Or when I use the word which is your favorite book? So I'm talking about a particular thing in each of these sentences. Now the next set of interrogative pronouns are whom and who. So these introduce questions about specific people. Who is your best friend? To whom have you given your book? So this is how you use these interrogative pronouns as per various contexts. Now the last one, whose. So that is used for in contexts related to ownership. Whose shoes are these? So it talks about the ownership of the shoes that we are referring to. So these are the different kinds of interrogative pronouns that are used to introduce questions, and it can be based on any context, that is things, people, or ownership. Now, the fourth type of pronoun is indefinite pronouns. These pronouns are used to refer to any unspecified person or thing. So this is very important, unspecified person or thing. And most of these pronouns are a combination of these words: some, any, every, and no. So these words, when combined with these, form a part of indefinite pronouns list. Okay, like something, someone, somewhere, somebody. So that is somebody. Anything, anyone, anywhere, anybody. Everything, everyone, everywhere, everybody. And same thing applies with the word no. Nothing, no, no one or none, nowhere, and nobody. So this is how some of these indefinite pronouns are used. And also these indefinite pronouns can be used to describe quantity, like little, many, none, enough, and few. So these are the different aspects where indefinite pronouns can be used in English grammar. The fifth type of pronouns is the reciprocal pronouns, and as the word suggests, it ensures to show the reciprocal relationship between two people or things. And also, when each member of these groups perform the same action that is relative to each other. So let us look at two examples that I've given here. It is important to treat one another with respect. So this combination here, one another, is an example of reciprocal pronoun where I'm talking about how everyone must treat one another with respect. So it is the same action that is carried by the same members of the same group that is relative to each other. The second one, siblings fight with each other over trivial matters. So siblings, we're talking about siblings who are fighting with each other. So the action of fighting is done by two or maybe more siblings and over trivial matters. So when we use pronouns to indicate reciprocal procedures in a certain context, then these are the examples that we can use: one another and each other. Now the last type of pronouns that is there in the list is called as the dummy pronouns, and just as the word explains for itself, this is simply used as a word that does not have an explicit meaning. So that means these pronouns are not used to replace any nouns. Like for example, the word it has rained today. So the word it does not refer to any other noun in the sentence. So that can be considered as a dummy pronoun which does not have an explicit meaning. Another example is there are thousands of animal species in the world. So there is considered as a dummy pronoun which does not have an explicit meaning. Dummy pronouns are mainly used to talk about the weather, or it can be used to explain certain elements in a sentence, or even introduce a particular idea or an existence of something into a particular sentence. So this is how dummy pronouns are used in English grammar. So stay tuned with us for more such videos. So I'll be explaining more about the different parts of speech in my forthcoming videos. So keep following us and make sure you take down your notes and improve on your journey to English proficiency.